Hi, my name's Nick. I'm from No Regrets Personal Training, and today I'm going to show you a couple of really cool exercises, a couple that I've only just recently been using the last few years. And these are very, very effective for anyone with neck pain and shoulder pain, or back pain for that matter, but even better if you're a golf player. We've recently completed our golf specialist course with the Czech Institute, and these are some of the great exercises they use for warm-ups for golf, but also to improve your performance or reduce elbow pain, back pain, and just maybe improving your backswing and that as well. So I'm going to show you the two exercises that I like the most, and I use these quite extensively with rehab clients for shoulder pain. Right, so the first exercise I'm going to show you is the Feldenkrais shoulder spine integrator. I've got Nathan here who's set up to ready to do this exercise. Now, when you do this exercise, make sure you got your knees at 90 degrees and your hips at 90 degrees, so relative to your spine and your knee here. Arms will be outstretched like this with palm on top of each other. When I first do this, I sort of do it like in a regress state. Now you can also, if you're a personal trainer or someone who's really into rehab, I would highly recommend looking at the Scientific Shoulder Training Correspondence course by Paul Czech. He goes into great detail and explains this really, really well. I'm just going to do it very briefly to keep the video short so you get the idea of what I mean. Alright, so basically Nathan's going to slide his hands along his shoulder, his arm here. His hand's going to grab the side of his forehead and gently guide his head around. That'd be step one. Right, so we're just letting his arm come to here, and then he's just going to come back around. So basically we're just seeing how well he can open up through his rib cage and his head to sort of guide the movement. Quite often we find people don't guide the movement very well with their eyes or their head at all. Now once he's done that, is step two. He's going to do the same thing, slide up along his arm. It's important to do that because it wakes up all the nerves. He's going to guide his head around, and this time he's going to let his arm extend out. And from this side I'm sort of looking to see if his shoulder touches the mat. Alright, and then he's going to bend his arm and he's going to slide across his chest like so. Now stage three would be he's just going to go slide right across his chest, not have to guide his head around, because his head should go there with his shoulders. It should be all a nice series of smooth movements. And then it comes straight back over. So this is not stretching, this is mobilising, and it's really enhancing quality of movement. This is such an awesome exercise, right? And if you're not doing it at the moment, I highly recommend it. Alright, so that's the Feldenkrais shoulder spine integrator. Second exercise, I'm going to get Nathan to stand up. This one's called the Golf Neck Trunk Trainer. Again, this is another one that I didn't really understand many years ago. Now that I do, I use it all the time for myself as much as with my clients. So Nathan's going to stand with his feet together, his right hand out with his eyes looking at his thumb. And we're going to get him to try and rotate around as far as he can go with his eyes watching his thumb and his head following it. All the way around, he's going to rotate as far as he can go. Keep going. And when he gets to the point where he's stuck and he can't go any further, he makes a little note of what he can see, like he leaves a little landmark. Alright, so he's got his landmark now, so he comes back to the start. And then the second part of that, so that's step one, that's the test. Step two is he keeps his thumb there, he keeps his eyes on the thumb, and he moves his arm, but he can't move his head. Only his eyes can follow his hand. Keep your head still, keep your head still. You can see where he wants to move his chin if you're watching the video. That's about where he can get to, alright? Now he comes back to the start. Now the last bit, he needs to do this several times, about 3 or 4 times. This time his hand goes that way, but his head comes this way. And his eye stays looking right on his thumbnail there. So let's see if he can do this. And it's got to be relative, so he can only move small movements. Does it like 3 or 4 times, tries to move the head as much as the arm. That's it, come back again, do one more. That's it. And now if he retests himself, he should be able to go further than he did on the test on the first go. So go all the way around and see where he can get to now. And he's significantly further, he's almost right around. So he's almost tied himself in a knot. Now, if Nathan was a golfer, and he was setting himself up for a golf swing. Alright, this would be an awesome exercise to improve your backswing, so because you need to keep your eyes on the ball, so you don't want your head to move. So as Nathan winds up in his backswing, his eyes have to stay looking closely at the ball that's down on the ground. If his head moves too much, he's going to miss the ball, or he's going to hit a really bad shot. Or he might reduce his backswing so he can keep his eyes on the ball. So you can see how this would, for a golf player, would be awesome. If you're not a golf player, it helps you to also. The eyes guide the movement of the muscles in the neck and the shoulders, and also the trunk. So the eyes are more important to you than muscles. So that's why this exercise is such a cool exercise, and doesn't create any pain. You can really improve your movements considerably without pain. So if you want to see more of the other videos we've got, go to our YouTube channel and check out all the other videos we've got, or go to our website www.noregretspt.com.au, and you can see a stack of other videos and exercises and articles that we've got that help you to get the idea of how to truly train for core strength training and functional movement, so you can enhance everything you want to do in life.